Like a little background of like what yin is so that you actually know what we're doing here. And then as always, with poses like this, they're not gonna be super comfy, but they're not gonna be super uncomfortable either. So in some poses, you might be like, what the hell, get me out of this pose. And in other poses, you might be like, oh, this feels great. But if anything hurts, like if your neck is pinching in a weird way and you're like, no, this doesn't feel right, just ease off a little bit or just don't do it at all. Because we don't want anyone to get hurt, but we definitely want you to like push your boundaries. So we can start. So if you'd like, you can start sitting or you can lay down. And I'm just gonna play some music here. And if it's too loud, just let me know. Sometimes I've had old people in my classes who like it hurts their hearing aid and they don't tell me until afterwards. And I've been so upset, like mortified. So you can just like do a wave and I'll stop. And if you can't hear it, let me know. Okay. Can you hear it? Cool. So go ahead and close your eyes. And we're just going to start by taking a big, deep breath in through your nose and out of your mouth. Ah. And again, big, deep breath in through your nose. Maybe pulling in a little bit more air and a little bit more air. And just breathing out of your mouth. Ah. And one more time, but this time we're going to do a lion's breath. So go ahead and take a big, deep breath in. Breathing a little bit more air. And a little bit more air. And a little bit more air. And holding it there at the top. And this time when you exhale, you're going to stick your tongue out and make a tongue noise. Ha. Your eyes closed and just breathe in and out of your mouth, your nose. Breathing in and breathing out at your own pace. Remembering that you did it. You came to the class, you're making time for you. Continuing to breathe here. And we'll do a little body scan. So I want you to just start with your toes and just see where they're at today. Just checking in, no judgment. And from there, you'll move into the top of your foot and the sole of your foot. Just thinking about how they feel. Not changing anything, not judging anything, not telling yourself how it should be, just noticing how it is. From there, you'll move into your ankles. Remembering to breathe in and out of your nose. Moving up into your shin and your calves. Just noticing and breathing. From there, moving into your knees. The backs of your knees. Not sure what that's called. And then into your thighs and the backs of your thighs. Continuing to breathe in and out. And then moving into your hips, your seat, your pelvic area, relaxing your body deep into the ground and just taking notice of how you feel today. Breathing in and breathing out. Moving into your stomach and your lower back, your torso, chest area, taking notice of all of it. Just to see where you're at today. Remembering to breathe. From there, moving into your fingertips, your fingers, the palms of your hands, the tops of your hands, and your wrists. Checking in with each individual area and noticing. Continuing to breathe in and out of your nose. From there, you'll move through your forearms into your elbows. Past your upper arms into your shoulders. Breathing in and out of your nose the entire time. Making sure to be careful not to judge or critique anything here. And moving up through your neck. Making sure to continue to breathe in and out of your nose. From there, moving into your face, your chin, your cheeks, your eyes, your ears, the back of your head, the top of your head. Just noticing. Taking another deep inhale through your nose. Breathing in a little bit more air, and a little bit more air, and a little bit more air. Holding it there at the top. And when you're ready, letting out a big exhale. You can keep your eyes closed if you like, but we're just going to start warming up our bodies a little bit. So we're going to start with our neck first. And you're just going to drop your chin to your chest and slowly roll over to your right shoulder. So your right ear is gently resting on your right shoulder. Taking a big deep breath in. And another big deep breath out. And then we'll slowly roll our chin back to the center of our chest. And slowly roll over to the left side. Holding it there for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly coming back to center. And again, rolling over to the right side. Right ear down to the right shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, dropping your chin down to the center of your chest and rolling over to the left side. We'll bring our chin back to center. And from here, just go ahead and take some neck rolls on your own. So you can continue doing the half circles, or if it feels good for you today, you can roll all the way. And we just want to make sure that we're doing it nice and slow and intentional. So sometimes when we're rolling our neck around, we can get kind of chaotic, like whipping our hair around my fiance. But we don't want to do that. We want to get into every single little nook and cranny, every spot. And if it feels good in one spot, maybe you roll over that spot a couple times. Maybe you linger in one area a little longer than everywhere else. When you've had enough of that, you can go ahead and bring your head up. If you'd like, you can keep your eyes closed. And we'll gently bring our hands to touch in front of us. And go ahead and set an intention for your practice here. So it could be something as simple as sending love to someone you know, sending love to yourself, maybe thanking yourself for coming to yoga today. Just take a moment to go ahead and set an intention. And when you've done that, you'll go ahead and interlace your fingers and you'll start to roll your wrists over towards the right. Remembering to breathe in and out of your nose. And then go ahead and switch in the opposite direction. It might feel really weird because most likely you probably started with your dominant hand. Remembering to breathe in and out. And then you'll go ahead and let go of your other hand and you'll just roll your wrists out in one direction and then roll them the other way. We'll go ahead and place our hands gently down by our sides. And I want you to go ahead and stretch your feet out long in front of you. We're just going to give a nice shake. Taking a big deep breath in and a big deep breath out. Go ahead and place your feet down flat on the ground, keeping your knees bent. And you can, my fingers are faced forward, just gently placed behind my back. And we're just going to windshield wiper our legs here, back and forth. Remembering to breathe in and out of your nose. All the time, you can't breathe. You like to think that you're oh yeah. It's close to the truth. All right, and from here, we're gonna bring come back onto our mats, going right into a tabletop. So tabletop is our wrists are underneath our shoulders. Your fingertips are spread out wide. Your knees are right underneath your hips, and your knees are hips width distance apart. You can keep your toes flat to the ground. And then on an inhale, you'll go ahead and breathe in, opening up your throat here, opening up your chest, for technically our first heart opener. And then as you exhale, we're coming right into a cat pose. So you'll arch your back. And I always like to think of it as like that Halloween scaredy cat. So you kind of look like a Halloween scaredy cat. Exhale. Inhale. So you're just going to continue with your own breath. Cat cow in here. You can go ahead and turn your wrists around if that feels good for you. I know that some of us work on computers all day. And then slowly roll in one direction and roll in the other. If that's too much for you, no need to turn your wrists around. You can just do this without turning them around. And then go ahead and flip them back if you flip them. And you can just turn. I like to turn my body towards my feet. Breathing in and breathing out. Go to the other direction. And then just one more cow here. And one more cat. So now that we've got our body is nice and warmed up, we'll come into our first pose. So you're just going to bring your toes to touch. Spread your knees out as wide as they can go. Well, maybe not as wide as they can go. Some of you might be really flexible. But as wide as the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big deep breath in. And on your exhale, you're just going to slowly start to lower yourself down into a child's pose. If you'd like, and if you can gently rest your forehead all the way down on the mat. I have two options for hands today. So you can either stretch your arms out long in front of you with your fingertips arched, or you can place your elbows down on the mat, bringing your palms to touch, and placing it over the back of your neck. Breathing in and breathing out. Now for this pose, we're going to hold it here for a couple minutes, which sounds kind of crazy, but that's yin. And so while we're resting in this pose, it's a hip opener. It's also a heart opener, and it's also a throat opener. So you may feel all sorts of emotions while you are laying here. You might feel uncomfortable. You might feel great. You might feel emotional. Whatever it is, just continue to breathe through it. In and out of your nose. No judgment. Knowing that you've got this. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly slowly start to lift yourself up. We're going to gently bring ourselves into that tabletop, but we're going to start to slide our legs back into a plank pose. We're only going to stay in plank for a moment though, because we're going to come right back down to our mat. And I'm actually going to turn towards you so you can see what I'm doing here. But we're going to be in a plank, lowering ourselves down. And then we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So you're going to place the palms of your hands and your forearms down on the ground in front of you. I'll turn to the side so you can see. There we go. And you'll gently lift your chest and your chin up. So your legs are stretched out long behind you. Your feet are flat to the tops of your feet are flat to the ground. Your elbows are bent at a 90-degree angle in front of you. You can also come into seal, which is, I think, what Allie's doing, where you place your palms flat on the ground, stretching your arms out in front of you. Seal can be a lot more intense, so don't feel pressured to go into seal. Only do it if your back allows you. You can also move if you need to. So I'll be in Sphinx, and you're just going to gently lift your chin a little bit, keeping your eyes closed if you like, and breathing in and out of your nose. This is another pose that's working with the energetic lines that are connected to your heart and your small intestine. Breathing in and breathing out. Remembering that we're not here for very long. From here, slowly starting to make your way to a seat. So how I like to do that is just placing my hands back towards my chest and rising to my knees. Coming to sit back on your seat. Placing your feet out long in front of you and your hands back by your hips there. Sitting up nice and tall for a staff pose. Taking a big deep breath in through your nose and out of your mouth. Ha. On an inhale, you'll go ahead and raise your hands up high. You can even interlace your fingertips and give a little stretch there if that feels good. And then on an exhale, we're going to gently start to lean forward. If you can, some body types just don't allow this. You can reach for your toes or the center of your foot or your heels. If that's not happening today, you can reach for your ankles or your calves, your shins. Just try not to death grip onto your knees. And you'll lower your head, taking a big deep breath in and a big deep breath out. Breathing in and out of your nose. For every heart opener, we balance it with a pose that counteracts that. Again, these poses are working the same energetic lines. So you might feel it in the same spots. Or maybe you feel nothing at all. It happens. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll just be here another minute or so. And you want to make sure that in all of these poses, we keep our core activated. So when yoga teachers say that, they really just mean making sure that that our core, our ab area, our stomach area, that we're activating those muscles, that we're using those muscles. Breathing in and breathing out. You can also gently bend your knees here if that feels better for you. From here, you'll slowly start to roll yourself back up, little by little. And we're gonna come into a side straddle. So you're just gonna spread your legs out wide here. Just make sure that you're not crunching up your back there. And we'll just take another deep inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And on an exhale, we'll start to lean over towards the left side. You can grab onto that left foot with your left hand if you can reach. And then you'll go ahead and bring that right hand over your head. Some of us may be able to reach your toes. It's totally up to your body. So if that's not happening for your body today, don't push it. You can also rest your head, your arm on your head. You can drop it down in front of you, just as long as your torso is leaning towards the side and we're not turning it to lean towards the side. Breathing in and breathing out. Try not to pass any judgment on ourselves or where our body's at today. Remembering that this is a practice and that's all we're doing. We're just moving and practicing yoga. On an inhale, you'll gently just roll through center, coming to the other side, grabbing onto that right foot with your right hand, and inhaling, lifting that left arm up and over. And if you can reach, cool. If not, still cool. Just modify. Breathing in and breathing out. Remembering that where you are today, you probably weren't there yesterday and you probably won't be there tomorrow. Every day is different. Every body is different. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll only be here for a little bit longer. Remembering to keep your core activated here, keep it nice and active. And on an inhale, slowly rising back up to center. Maybe you roll your shoulders back here a little bit. Maybe you roll them forward. And then we'll come into a butterfly fold. So you go ahead and bring your feet to touch. Now, for some people, they won't be able to bring their feet as close to their body, and that's okay. You can just bring them further out. So maybe you're in a diamond, maybe you're right here, maybe you're back here, wherever is most comfortable for you today. And then you can either grab your feet and slowly lower over them, or if you'd like to try what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the palms of my hands and flip them up. I'm going to slide my right arm underneath my right leg. And then I'm going to take my left hand and I'm just going to slide it underneath my left leg. And from there, I'm just going to slowly lower my head down as far as it'll go. Just breathing in and breathing out. This will be our last yin pose before we come into our resting pose. So just notice that, remember that, and breathe. We've been working a lot today with the heart chakra and the energy that's associated with joy and love. If we're dealing with any kind of heartache, this could bring up a lot of emotions for you. And that's okay. A lot of us struggle with self-love. And so doing a fire yin practice can help bring some balance to that area of your life. The most important relationship we have is with ourselves. So you want to remember to pour a lot of love there. Remembering to breathe in and breathe out. These poses that we hold for a long time in yin are not only meant to bring balance to those elements and to those emotions and organs, but it's also to help build strength. So you may notice during this practice that you feel like you're doing a very labor-intensive practice. Or you may notice over the next couple of days that you feel sore in places you haven't been sore before. All normal. From here, we'll start to slowly pull one arm out and gently pull the other one out, keeping our head low. Slowly lifting it up. You can keep your eyes closed here if you like. And we'll just start to stretch our feet out long in front of us again, but this time bringing our feet flat to the ground. Your hands, your fingertips should be pointing towards the screen. And you're just going to windshield wiper your legs out here. Breathing in and breathing out of your nose. We're going to slowly make our way down to our mat. So you can keep your legs, knees bent here, and you'll just stretch your arms out in front of you and slowly, little by little, make your way down to the ground. As you're doing this, you should notice that your abs are really working hard here. So very controlled movement. From there, you'll squeeze your knees into your chest, giving yourself the biggest hug. Maybe even give yourself a little kiss and tell yourself how much you love yourself. And then you'll grab onto your knees and just start rolling your knees out. And maybe rolling your knees in. Whatever feels good for you today. And you'll gently release your body down to the ground for our final resting pose. I'll place some sound bowls here. They might get very loud, so if they do get a little too loud, you can just give a little wave and I'll turn them down. Just close your eyes and breathe. And I will let you know when it's time to get back up. slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you start to rock your head back and forth, gently awakening the body. You'll start to roll over to one side. Your right side is your masculine energy. Your left side is your feminine energy. And since today is a new moon, moons are usually related to feminine energy. So if you wanted to roll to your left side, that would be perfect for today. Taking a moment there to check in with your body again and see how you feel now. When you're ready, you'll slowly make your way up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed. You'll go ahead and gently place your palms together at your heart. Taking a big, deep breath in. I'm breathing in a little bit more air, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. Taking a big exhale out of your mouth. Ah. And again, breathing in. Maybe taking a couple more sips of air in. And letting out a big exhale. Ah. And then one more time, breathing in. A little bit more air. And a little bit more air. And a little bit more air. And this time, I'm going to Om. If you want to join, you can, but no pressure. Breathing in one more little sip of air, and then we'll let out an Om. Ah. Bringing your thumbs to your third eye. Bowing your chin down to your chest. Thanking yourself for making the time for you today. As always, the light in me honors the light in all of you. Namaste. Well, thanks, guys.
That was awesome. Thank you, Janet.